Good morning, children. In this video, we are going to read the difference between intensive and reflexive pronouns. Children, the 8 pronouns myself, yourself, himself, itself, herself, yourselves, ourselves, and themselves are both intensive and reflexive pronouns. The main difference between intensive and reflexive pronouns stems from their function. Intensive pronouns are used to add emphasis to a sentence, whereas reflexive pronouns are used to refer back to the subject of a sentence. Let us look at them one by one. Intensive pronouns. Intensive pronouns are a special kind of pronouns that are used to add emphasis to a sentence. As mentioned above, the 8 pronouns myself, yourself, himself, itself, herself, yourselves, ourselves, and themselves fall into the category of intensive pronouns. Since intensive pronouns are only added to emphasize a noun or another pronoun, they are not essential to a meaningful sentence. Let us look at some examples. The Prime Minister himself gave me the award. She made this dinner herself. He himself told me that I was to be promoted. You yourself can change your life. The Queen herself came forward to help. In all these sentences, himself, herself, yourself, and herself are intensive pronouns, and they are used to emphasize the subject, or we can say they are used to emphasize the noun or pronoun in a sentence. And as I said earlier, even if we remove them, there will not be any effect in the meaning of the sentence. Let us look at reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronouns are used in a sentence to refer back to the subject. We use them when the subject and the object of a sentence is the same. In simple terms, reflexive pronouns can be used when someone is doing something to himself. Reflexive pronouns generally act as the object of a sentence. And children, they act as all the 3 types of object of the sentence: the direct object, the indirect object, and the object of preposition. Let us see the examples. As the direct object, he saw himself in the mirror and was shocked. I pinched myself to see whether it was a dream. In both these sentences, himself and myself are referring back to the subject he and I, and so they are reflexive pronouns. They are here the direct object of the sentence. As the indirect object, I bought myself a slice of cake. He made himself coffee. In both the sentences, myself and himself are referring back to I and he in the sentence, and hence it is considered to be a reflexive pronoun. As the object of preposition, you should address the letter to yourself. She had to cook for herself. Now in these 2 sentences, yourself and herself are referring back to the subjects you and she, and hence they are reflexive pronouns. Here they are the object of prepositions to and for. Let us recapitulate. The difference between intensive and reflexive pronouns. On the basis of function, intensive pronouns add emphasis, whereas reflexive pronouns refer back to the subject. In terms of meaning, intensive pronouns are not essential to the meaning of a sentence, whereas reflexive pronouns are essential to the meaning of a sentence. In terms of subject and object, intensive pronouns are not used in sentences where the subject and object refers to the same. Reflexive pronouns, on the other hand, are used in a sentence when the subject and the object are the same. In terms of object, intensive pronouns do not act as the object of a sentence, whereas reflexive pronouns act as the object of a sentence. Thank you, children.